Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 45 of the Galactic Window Space Podcast. My name is Nick, and when I build Legos, I am known as the Orbital Alliance.
And I'm Tan, also known as Chasing the Milk. Legos, huh?
Yeah, Legos.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. We be
I like
building.
I like it. The building blocks of the podcast, y'all.
Right. Everybody, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. If you're brand new with us, you are very welcome to come hang out with us, either live in the stream on YouTube or Twitch, or just audibly on your favorite audio podcast platforms, wherever podcasts are found. This show is entirely about space and astronomy. So whether you know everything or nothing, you're welcome to hang out with us and learn something new about space and astronomy. So this week is no exception. Right, Tan?
Yeah, dude, I just want to say you're spot on with the intros every time. You carry the podcast with the intros, man. Because if you were to point the camera at me and just have me start it, I don't know what I would say. I really don't.
Well, if you go back to early episodes, you'll see that wasn't always the case.
Hi, I'm Nick.
It took a long time. I mean, we're 45 episodes deep. I feel like maybe I found a little bit of a mojo. It's not perfect, but I'm dialing it
Pretty damn
in,
good.
getting there.
What do you guys think, chat? Does Nick have the intro and the outro as well? Does Nick have it dialed in? 'Cause I think he does. I think he's locked in.
Dial it in. Yes.
Yeah, dude.
I have fun with it. I mean, it's. I always try to think of something fun. I realized that after a certain point, I decided to do those kind of crazy introductions for myself because I was like, how can I make this unique and different from any other podcast that I've ever listened to? I'm all for uniformity, which we do have. Like, I open up the exact same way every time, but I change it. It's just like the flavor of topping, you know. It's like you get vanilla ice cream every time, but maybe you want sprinkles, or maybe this time you want like cookie crumbles or something like that. It's like that equivalent. I try to change it just enough so that it's interesting, so that way if you're a return listener, like, what's he gonna say this time? You know, like what kind of goofy stupid thing is he gonna do?
Yeah, no, I love it.
And
keeps me guessing too.
Right? Yeah. Tan doesn't even know these things. I don't tell him what I'm gonna say. I just do it. And at this point, most of the time, I decide what I'm going to say during that 10-second countdown. I
love it.
I don't even know what I'm going to be
That's
saying.
Impressive.
Occasionally, I'll brainstorm randomly. It'll be like Mondays. I'm like, man, how am I going to introduce myself tonight? What haven't I said yet? And now I'm just like, I used to have limits on it, but now there's no limits. Like, it could be anything. Like, I think. What are some of the ones I recently did? I did In Black and White. I'm known as the Orbital Alliance. When I go to the gym, I'm known as the Orbital Alliance. And now when I build Legos, I am also known as the Orbital Alliance. So, I mean, it can be anything you want to do.
Mine is always the same, and I have a hard time remembering it. It's just Tan. I am still just Tan, also known as Chasing the Milk.
But I love that. I love it because it's like this contrast that you and I have that, again, caters to the uniformity, but like the formulaic nature of it. It's like you got me. I got this big, grandiose, like unpredictable intro, and then yours is very simple and yet the same, and I love it. It's just a different experience.
Yeah, I love it too. I don't have to think too much. Well, we got a nice crowd in here tonight. Welcome in, everyone. We see so many of you guys here. I first have to mention that everyone make sure that Ron Colson stays awake. It is extremely, extremely important that Ron stays awake for this for tonight's episode.
I just had the privilege of seeing Ron in real life last week, and he was telling me that he typically will start the show and then promptly fall asleep at some point because it's just late. It's late in the evening.
You're not alone, Ron.
Yeah. It's, maybe our 9 p.m. start time is slightly problematic for some of our audience, but we decided to lean into it, I think.
Yeah. Why did we decide on 9? Were there any runner-ups? Do you remember?
It's a tough call. I mean, honestly, it is a sweet spot because I balanced two things. Like one, my personal life kind of takes over the early part of the evening for me. Want to be like make sure I'm present for like my kids' bedtime and stuff. And by the time that's over, I'm usually finishing some prep and getting ready for the show, dialing in my camera and the lights and everything, and doing like line checks. So by the time that's done, it's like 8:30. So I'm like, well, I guess the next hour time slot is 9:00. So it's sort of this logistical side of things, but also I'm like, it's a podcast about space and astronomy. Like, you got to do that when the stars are out. So, and also recognizing time zones too. Like most of our listeners are going to be in the United States or Canada. So if we're in the Central Time, that's 9. East Coast, that's 10. And then it's like 8 in the Mountain and 7 on the Pacific. So like that's a pretty good spread. Like everybody for the most part will be entering their evening at that point. So my brain had all that in mind as we were doing this. And I felt like as you and I decided to lock in a time, 9:00 just felt right.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, any other time, especially during the day, even the late afternoon, it would probably feel really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys listening right now or watching live right now, imagine watching this at, I don't know, 1 in the afternoon, 5, dinner time, or when I think you did pick the sweet spot.
It's like a little bit of a late night vibe,
Yeah.
You're sitting down you're not watching your favorite shows. I mean, who does this anymore, I suppose. But I'm referring to maybe past people who actually watch TV and not like stream TV, but like primetime shows at like, 5 through 8 or whatever, or 5 through 9. And then you got your late night programs. You got the Tonight Show and the formerly, late night with who is it now? Seth Meyers no, he's on CBS, right? I don't even know who's on late night anymore.
Yeah.
Late Night with Conan O'Brien back in the day. Like those shows started at 11:35. Like, that's when you're winding down, you're either in bed or you're sitting on the couch and the day is very much over. I always loved that time slot so much. And it just makes sense with space. So, and I figured most of our audience who enjoys space is also going to just be in line with that. You guys are night owls for the most part. And,
True. Yeah. Well, dude, thanks for the morning. That's right. Princess Tamara is the exception.
You are the exception. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For you listeners out there, there's someone in the chat, a big supporter of the Orbital Alliance, the Galactic Window here, and she's all the way out in Slovenia, so she sets an alarm clock just to catch us here. That's a big W.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we could do an early morning podcast at some point. I suppose we'll just stay up super late
just for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll start at 4 a.m. so that the time difference is adjusted.
Yeah. Hey guys, so real quick, I don't want to jump ahead, but we have something super exciting that we're gonna announce here shortly. But real quick, Nick, I saw, I gotta pin this real quick.
Oh,
she loves the patch.
Yes.
Yeah, we sent Angie a nicotine patch. She loves it. She's 2 days in of not smoking.
Nicotine, more like Nick and Tan.
Yeah, we did a giveaway. We did a giveaway recently, and we had some really cool patches and some swag, some Galactic Window apparel, and Angie here was one of the lucky recipients of the Orbital Alliance patch. I'm glad you like it.
Yes, super stoked. Hope you enjoy it. Sew it on something cool.
Keep it under your pillow every night, actually.
Yeah. I hear the orbital fairy will bring you money if you do that.
Ooh, yeah. And a telescope, too.
Yeah.
And spam.
Oh, man.
Heck yeah. Well, dude, I'm honestly just super excited. I feel like we got a nice crowd in here. We should just tell them real quick.
Yeah. You guys, next week, we're bringing back the whole guest mode thing. We're bringing a guest on the show up for episode 46.
Man, it's been a while.
And yeah, I know it has been a hot second, but we're excited to do that. One of our favorite things to do is bring people on the show who have some level of influence on the world of space and astronomy, because those people see the universe in their own unique way, just like we all do. And sometimes people who have explored space differently, is worth like highlighting those stories, because we don't always get to see these like really interesting perspectives. So we found somebody who we have teased since I think December, but we've got the booking happened. So we're excited. So here we go. I'm going to show you guys. We are very excited to bring on a man named Herb Baker onto the show next week, April 14th.
Herb Baker.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Herb is a retired NASA employee, and he has had the privilege of working in and around NASA for 50 years. So
50.
50, not 15. That's right. 50. And
whole life, man.
Yeah, he has a book out, which is phenomenal. It's called From Apollo to Artemis, Stories from My 50 Years with NASA. So here it is. Get a good look. So he's had the privilege of working and supporting NASA and companies around NASA in the Houston area since I think he was in high school. From the Apollo program during the moon landings all the way to, I believe, 2017, when Artemis, the successor moon program, was in full swing. So that is a heck of a career, which means, he's been involved with people who were, supporting the moon missions in the 60s and 70s, to Skylab, the first American space station, the space shuttle program, the beginnings of the International Space Station program, and then later Constellation, which evolved into Artemis. So the book chronicles that. There's a million different anecdotes and crazy moments about how he had some influence and play and creativity and I'm just trying to think of the right word for it, like a hand in some critical decisions that helped steer America's space program. So more than one, for sure. So this guy not only has seen cool things and done cool things, but his network of connections in the space community is really astounding. I mean, Herb knows countless astronauts. He knows the guys who've been to the moon, and then people all in the shuttle program, and even the astronauts today. Like, he's just heavily immersed in American space flight in every way. So you guys, this one's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild and a half. So we're very, very stoked to have Herb. He's been very generous to offer us his time. So it's gonna be good.
Man, it's so interesting to have a person of that caliber to be on the show. You guys know we've been doing this podcast for since last June. So I still consider us kind of like little young, little early. Herb, I met him on NASA social. Oh, cool, that's awesome. Heck yeah. Well, yeah. Basically, I'm just super excited. And almost I don't know if intimidated is the right word, but I just know man, I got a lot of questions to ask him.
Mm-hmm. Which reminds me, I am going to post a Google form to my Orbital Alliance YouTube channel posts. So like the actual like social media posts. I'm going to post a Google form where if you are a member on the channel, so if you have like a little star next to your name, whether you've received it as a gift or you've purchased one yourself, I will give you guys the opportunity to come on the show next week, and you can ask Herb your question yourself. So we'll put your camera on the screen. You can ask Herb a question, because we'll do a Q&A with him, and you guys are all welcome to just do that in the chat. Like that's fine. But there's a chance that you won't get your question featured just because sometimes there's either too many or they run out of time. But if you want to come on, we will set that up with you. And the form will be easy. Basically, just be like your name and your email address, and then I will send you a link to join us here on StreamYard, where we broadcast from. So We're really excited to do that because we want to do things that help include you guys. And one of the things I promised was giving you the chance to do Q&As, interactive Q&As with guests of interest. So this is one of those times.
I'm excited, man.
Me too. So yeah, I would say I encourage you guys, work up the courage this week. This is a cool opportunity to talk to someone who knows things, and who dwarves makes Tan and myself, our collective intelligence, look very, very small. You know?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a blast. Like he's just one of those people. So yeah, look out for that form. Check the posts on the Orbital Alliance channel. I will do my best to make that as public as possible. But yeah, that's gonna be great.
Cool.
Reminds me also another thing. Here's something cool because Herb wrote a book. We're gonna be doing a giveaway of one copy of this book. So one of you guys, if you guys show up, we'll do what we did a couple weeks ago where we pull up a wheel, a digital wheel, and we'll put everyone's name who wants to enter it onto the wheel, and we'll spin it live on the show, and we'll give away a copy to you. So if you're interested, be sure you pull up for that.
Dude, I hope I get it. Dude, I love giveaways.
Yep.
It is. We are really excited for this episode, y'all. Like I said before, just having someone of this caliber on the show is honestly, dude, it's an honor. I'm so excited, super grateful, and just to be able to share it with you guys as well is super rewarding. So please come up with some questions, fill out the Google form so it solidifies that you know your questions are going to be up there. I know I'm going to have a hard time coming up with some really thought-provoking questions, so we could use some help here, or at least sure. I could.
Well, yeah. It's a key component of the program is doing this thing, not just with Tan and myself and a guest. It's with you guys. It's the community that shows up every week, and there are a lot of you. So, you know, that's the thing. Like, we want you guys to be a part of this, and we're doing our best to make that happen as often as we can. Tamara celebrating 3 months as a member. That is awesome.
With the plant. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. Dude, yeah.
Asking Chat GPT now. Nice.
Write me some questions for Herb Baker. So you guys want to know something cool, and this is maybe to amp up the level of excitement for Herb too. When I was emailing with him, he told me that the 2 days before he'll be on the show next week, so this coming weekend, he's actually, I think, going to be in Tulsa, if I'm correct. He's going to be in Tulsa for a celebration of the 55th anniversary of Apollo 13. So if you guys are familiar with the
so cool.
Tom Hanks movie Apollo 13 from the 90s, you know, showcasing the famous story.
Oh, famous.
It's so famous. The famous story about the kind of disastrous Apollo mission that almost resulted in 3 astronauts not coming home. He is going to be at the celebration, and Fred Hayes, the astronaut who was on that mission, I believe he was the lunar module pilot, is going to be at that event, and then a bunch of other the mission control team members that were supporting that mission, which kind of helped to save the day. Herb's going to be hanging out with those people and talking with them.
So cool, dude.
Just the days before he'll be on the show. So he told me, he's like, I'm excited because I'll have some fresh stories from that event to share with you guys. So if you guys ever wanted to have kind of a connect the dots moment with a real Apollo astronaut, you got to show up for this. You know,
he's real famous.
Did we just coin a new word?
Yes, famous. Ron Colson, I watched that mission in real time. Oh. Wow, man.
Raise your hand in the chat if you are also one of the lucky people to have watched it in real time.
Super famous.
I'm not sure.
Wow.
I'm curious
Incredible,
if anyone else
Ron.
is. That is so cool.
Yeah. Man, I'm pumped, dude. Is it next Monday yet?
I know, right? Gosh. I'm stoked.
Yeah. We're also... Yeah, never mind.
No. Dude, just let it flow. Let it flow.
Well, I was going to make another announcement, but I don't want... We can't.
Is it a pre-announcement?
Yeah, just next week's episode is gonna be really exciting. All right,
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
In more than one way.
Yes.
Wink. So,
Hey, real quick, can you wink on both eyes?
kind of.
Like,
I mean,
is it natural for you to?
I can close each eye. One's maybe a little bit weaker than the other, but who knows? I think I just look weird when I wink.
Yeah. No wonder it never works with me.
Here's your special announcement for next week.
How'd you find out? How'd you find out?
Princess Tamara in the chat suggested that Tan is pregnant, for those of you who are listening on the audio episode.
Yeah. Let me give you guys my little registry list. Things I want.
Tan's baby registry.
Yep.
No.
Just cans of spam.
Mm-hmm. I thought you said Kansas spam, like from Kansas.
Ooh, from Kansas. Nice. A little smoky barbecue flavored.
Yeah. Have you ever had barbecue spam? Is that a thing?
I don't think I've ever put barbecue on spam. I would try it. Sounds good.
Yeah, I think we should try it.
Musubi? Yes. I love musubi.
Ooh, yes.
Congratulations. Thank you. Yes, it's Murney. So yeah, next week is super exciting because we'll have an awesome guest in. Just an exciting episode.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Yep. Yeah, I just want to jump the gun, but I'm not.
I know. Yeah,
it's way too hard.
Big hats off to people who can keep like surprises. I've had friends who are just absolutely terrible at keeping anything a secret, so we just know better to not tell them anything.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the ones who you can just trust with anything, no matter the like how big of a scope the surprise is, and you can trust them to. It's really tough right now.
Yes, it is.
But I hope that says a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No more.
We're done.
Yeah. We're oversharing.
We are. Here's something kind of cool that I saw this week that I've been waiting for. I've been anticipatory of. Gosh, just the garbled nature of my tongue tonight.
Well, you're using big words tonight, man. I can't even keep up. I think so, for me,
like spam.
Kindergarten.
Spam
yes.
Yeah. So you guys, something that NASA does, or like something that happens to NASA, is they have NASA administrators who are kind of like the person in charge of the administration, which, NASA is a government entity. So, it's kind of its own branch, so to speak. But these positions are appointed by the president. They recommend somebody, and then Congress approves the recommended person. So that rotates every time there's, a new president. And I don't know how many NASA admins there have been, but they've been quite influential throughout history. Many of them have had either buildings or missions named after them. Like James Webb, I think maybe he was the first one. But like James Webb Space Telescope, I believe he was a NASA administrator way back when. Many of them have been former astronauts. Like Senator Bill Nelson was the Joe Biden appointee for NASA admin during his term, and he was I think a once flown astronaut, or maybe more. I can't remember. He was flown. Charlie Bolden was a NASA admin, I believe, during the Obama administration. He was a multi-time flown shuttle astronaut, a pilot, I think.
Oh, cool.
If somebody fact checked me on that, but yeah, these are important people who lead NASA and kind of help guide them, and they're also a little bit of the face of the public side of things. So they're the ones who are giving the speeches at big events to either excite the public about NASA or to inform the public about what's happening. These are very important positions. And of course, they do make decisions, not all the decisions, because financial decisions are approved by Congress. Their budget gets approved by Congress. But the direction and how the vision from the president gets rolled out does happen on the desk of the administrator. So all that giant word description to be said, President Trump, when last year maybe, or it was earlier this year, maybe it was like right before he became president, was inaugurated, he suggested that the upcoming pick for him was Jared Isaacman of the Inspiration4 and Polaris Dawn missions. So he's the private astronaut. And we've talked about him quite a bit. So people got really excited, and I was one of them. And I was really surprised that he would pick him for this. But it makes a lot of sense, given his experience not only with SpaceX, but the private sector as well, because he's also a successful business person, having been the CEO of Shift4 and many other endeavors. He's also a pilot. So yeah, I guess the whole reason I bring this up, and I've been talking for like 20 minutes about this, is they're finally going to do the congressional approval for Jared Isaacman to become the next NASA administrator.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So that's
huge.
Huge.
Wow.
So it's pretty crazy. So that is very exciting to see some movement on that front and to see what happens. Because one thing I've mentioned about Jared in past episodes that I appreciate even more than the fact that he's been to space twice is he's actually a very kind and humble and informative human being. Following him on social media, you can see just how much he cares about people, and I think being gentle with people, even if they have differing opinions. He's posted some very good lengthy posts that have actually been hey, let's talk about what's happening, but let's look at it objectively and remove some of the feistiness from the equation and actually look at what are the facts, and let's come to a conclusion about this together.
It's an art.
It is an art. So he's stewarded his influence really well, in my opinion, which gives me optimism about him being in charge of NASA. But we got to look at this too from a historic standpoint. A private astronaut, this isn't a government flown astronaut. This is a totally different look and perspective that he'll have. And I'm really excited to see what he does with it.
We might need to get him on the podcast.
He's done some podcasts, so I don't think it's that far off of the.
We're gonna shoot a shot. He's famous.
He's famous.
He's famous.
How do we spell famous?
FAHMUS.
Like this in the chat. It's famous.
Famous. We like that. Hey, check this out real quick. I'm gonna pin. I saw something super interesting that Tiffy said. What's up, Heathrow? Next Monday, Katy Perry is also going to be in space with all women crew for 11 minutes.
Yes, I forgot about this.
This is.
Oh no. Fun fact: Tan just he just rage left the whole StreamYard. What happened?
I got so freaking excited, bro.
You just quit? You close the tab?
I raged. I was too famously excited. That's crazy. Katy Perry's gonna be out there?
Yes, she is going to space.
That's so random.
She is gonna be flying on a Blue Origin New Shepard mission. And yeah, I think it's gonna be all female crew. So it's suborbital flight. So it's like one of those little hops that goes up. I think the weightless portion of it, I think, is about 4 minutes of those 11 minutes. So if I'm correct, cool. Maybe it is longer now. I feel like it was shorter in the previous missions, but who knows? I need to learn a little bit more. But thank you, Tiffy, for bringing that up, because that is a sick piece of news.
So cool.
Really cool.
How much is a ticket? What if we wanted to do that?
Oh boy, I feel like I knew the answer at one point. Stuff has changed so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably
Hey Jamie, can you look that up?
Yeah.
We need
Yeah,
a Jamie. We need our own Jamie.
Tan Rogan.
I'm gonna guess 500K.
It's probably at least. It's definitely six figures. It might
Yeah.
be more.
Well, we had Go Zero G on our show, and they do
Mhm.
zero gravity flights on Earth. And I think the going rate for a group tour was 200,000
Right, like
for a
individually, it was
group.
like 10 to
10 to
15,000, wasn't it?
15,000. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Do you ever feel?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe one day we'll get to go.
Yeah.
That's
So,
cool.
Katy Perry on the podcast.
Oh, check it out. Here we go. Virgin Galactic tickets are priced at $450,000. Blue Origin auctioned a seat on its first flight for 28 million, and Bezos mentioned selling tickets for future flights for 100 million.
Okay.
Oh, so yeah, dude, we got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
If
we
anyone wants to fund Nick and I going to space, it's only $450,000.
Mm-hmm. Just a couple of pennies here or there. Start digging in your couch.
Murray, Murray. That's a lot of subs. Yeah. Damn. What an experience, though. You know,
Mhm.
I can't argue that it would be worth it, but I would say it would be one of the coolest things that you'll ever get to do in your lifetime,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. You know,
Right.
10 million a minute.
10 million. Yeah.
Jeez.
Dang.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, it's still in that weird infancy period where commercial spaceflight is kind of just trying things. So the people who are having the opportunities right now are those with very deep pockets.
Let's just wait for a sale, bro.
So,
We'll wait for it to get cheaper.
Black Hole Friday.
Black. Yeah. It'll only be like 100K.
Yeah, right. I've got that laying around.
Yeah.
I
Whole
think it's
ass
in this.
mortgage.
Oh, look in this drawer right here. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're seeing people that are historically wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
They're just on lists of wealthy people, or they are celebrities, which happen to be wealthy, but they have like a high level of public image. So they're just able to say yes when these opportunities come along. But it's optimistic for the rest of us that if these people go, the cost of their tickets are essentially funding the future.
Mm-hmm.
One of the comparisons that I think of is Tesla. When they started rolling out cars off of a production line back in 2008, it was only the Tesla Roadster. It was a high level
Oh, really?
performance car, the first vehicle in their fleet at the time. And they didn't start with an economy car for the masses. They started with a very low production rate of a high value production car that only a few people would be able to buy, but it's a high price point. And then they got people like, I'm pretty sure like Leonardo DiCaprio and like, was it like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Some people like that were like buying these cars. Those are the kinds of people who are buying them, which is the stage that we're at now. But the reason in space flight, but the reason they did that, what Tesla did that then, was because they could get these big buyers to invest by purchasing the cars, which would then fund the next tier down, which is the luxury class, not the like performance class, but the luxury class. That was the Model S and the X. And then they used the sales from those to open up the pyramid going down. And then that starts to fund the economy level cars, or like the lower premium end, which was like the Model 3, Model Y. And then that's going to pave the way for cars like Cybercab, which are going to be cheaper and more readily available. But that growth takes time. And if you inverted that and you started with the cheaper level, you'd never get anywhere, because you can't get people in mass to buy into a concept that is not available or supported yet in the industry. So I think there's some comparables there, in space, where, if they just said, hey, everybody, space flight is available for $15,000 for everyday people, but we don't know if it's safe. And we don't have a ton of them. Nobody's going to buy it. Very few people are going to buy it. And they'll never make money. They'll never be able to scale over time, essentially. So if you want to scale a business in a new industry, a new branch of industry, you have to start at the top with the Katy Perrys and the William Shatners, and these like high profile business people. You got to start there.
Yeah, it's true. What would you guess would be how far into the future do you think the average Joe will be able to get a ticket to space?
I have a couple of different angles on it. I would say my overly optimistic side of me is going to say in the next 10 to 15 years. And that's accounting for just some delays. And like, I really don't think we're that far off, because if we can do space flights like Falcon 9 with a Crew Dragon capsule on it right now that have had a 100% success rate, not the vehicle, the rocket, but the craft, like the human craft. I think the next 10 to 15 years, like everyday people might have an opportunity in the best case scenario.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like safe and reliable methods, not just like thrills and, oh, well, this like prototype rocket blew up. It happened to have people on it,
Yeah.
Probably more realistically within the next 15 to 30 years. But on the level of like it being as common as hopping on a Southwest airline flight, probably way far out. Probably by the time we're old and kicking the bucket.
Yeah. Guess we'll see. We'll go back to this. We'll go back to this episode 30 years from now, and we'll either say, "Yep, Nick was spot on," or not.
Yeah. Too bad he's too dead to go on the next one.
Who knows? Maybe we'll have a like frozen chambers, little pods by then, like in sci-fi movies.
I have to feature this because I was a huge fan of Late Night with Conan O'Brien. He used to do this bit called The Year 2000 because it was sort of ironic that it was about that time when they were doing this bit where they would kind of dress up like aliens or people from the future, and they would have La Bamba from his band do this little song where they're in the year 2000. It's like, and then they'd be like, in the year 2000, like. Then they'd say this like comedic bit, and it would sort of be like, we're from the future. Let us tell you what happens in the future. But the joke was that it was like 2002 and we were already in the future. So I'm imagining that we have this in the year 3000.
Yeah. I need to look up this bit. I don't think I've heard of it.
It's so funny. There are a lot of really good ones. Do recommend. Nice. Or our heads in jars like Futurama. Right, Deep Sky Dude. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
I can see that being a thing. Just your brain. Yeah, you need something to power up the brain. Mm-hmm. So like a synthetic heart of some sort. Then everything that is you, it all lives up here.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I could see that being a thing.
The heads in jars. It's like the neck up, and then they have like a little like metal bit on their heads.
Yeah.
And in the first episode, they're like feeding the heads at the head museum, like a fish tank, and it's like Leonard Nimoy's head is like jumping up for the little flakes of food that are feeding him.
Dude, that's gonna be us. That's funny.
Also, yes, Astro Hillbilly in the chat saying Triumph, the insult comic dog. I have the best of Triumph DVD downstairs. He's a legend. Particularly the bit where he went to the outside premiere of Star Wars Episode 2. That was one of my favorites. I love it.
Pillsbury Doughboy develops an ulcer. He no longer laughs when poked in the stomach, but he lets out long, stinky poops.
Is that something that got said on year 2000, I think?
That's funny.
Mm-hmm. um, gosh, I had a thought and it left me.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Find it.
It's
Find it.
gone. It's gone. Well, let's just talk some basic astronomy, dude. Because I mean, there have been some events in the recent weeks that we talked about, like the lunar eclipse and things like that. But we're in an in between period, right? Like
Mhm.
we don't have any exciting night sky features, right? There's nothing going on.
There's a meteor shower, but that's about it happening
Ooh,
this month. The
can,
Lyrids.
can you tell me about it?
The Lyrids. I believe it runs from now until what is it? The 27th, 14th to the 27th, I think. Here, why don't I just look it up? I know it
Okay.
peaks on the 21st.
Okay.
And that's about it. Let's see.
So like basically April,
Yeah.
like the whatever's left of April.
Okay, so active period from the 15th going through the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
And the peak night's going to be the night of the 21st going into the morning of the 22nd.
Gotcha.
Up to 15 meteors per hour. And all of the meteors are going to be radiating from the constellation of Lyra.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, the craziest meteor I've ever seen happen happened during this specific meteor shower about 2 years ago.
Really?
3 years ago, yeah. Yeah, one of the craziest fireballs I've seen.
Wow. Was this one that
So
you saw or captured?
both.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was incredible. So, um, yeah, this meteor shower is a really special one to me, and hoping for clear skies.
Was that the one where you were kind of just like wrapping up your recording or something? You're like, I'm going to be done. And then it was just like it showed up and you just scrambled and followed it across the sky. Was it that?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
the one.
Yeah. I now remember. I remember your video.
Yeah, we'll never forget that. Meteors.
Can we make meteorios?
Ooh,
Spacey Oreos?
I like that.
What's with this pun conversations happening now? There's so many people in the
Meteor.
chat.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Space is beautiful. It says its peak is 3 days after my birthday on the 19th. Oh, nice.
It's the 19th birthday.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Or unless
Happy. No, that sounds right.
the birthday is on the 19th or 19th on the 19th. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
But either way, that's exciting.
No, I think you're right. Yeah. Well, happy early birthday. Hopefully you get a nice fireball as a gift. Spam Oreos.
Spam
That's
Oreos.
funny. See, I don't know if I would try that.
19 on the 18th. Okay, we were close.
Cool. So yeah, so other than the Lyrids happening this month, I think we got some time to kill until the next big celestial event.
Yeah. It's been very cloudy up here in Illinois. I feel like it was clear right before I hopped on the show, and I don't know what it's like right now, but the moon is swinging back around. It's on its way to full, I think, at this point, which is exciting. I was hoping to do some more streaming, but I don't know if that's gonna be the case. I don't know if I'm gonna have the chance.
April showers. Yeah, I think it's been mostly cloudy for a lot of us in the country here lately.
Mm-hmm. Richard Jones dropping in this comment that I like here. Parker Solar Probe survived another flyby of the sun. This mission launched a couple of years ago. I remember watching it. Very exciting. It's like it's the probe that we have that's I believe it's closest to the sun. It does these wickedly close flybys. I think it's in like an elliptical orbit, kind of like an oblong off-center orbit. Again, please somebody fact check me. But it's got this very, very special shield, and it can do images of the sun at very close proximities. So that's cool. I did not hear this news about the latest flyby, so
Sweet.
good to know. Might be worth a goog.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, there's let's see.
Milky Way season.
Milky Way season.
I know Space mentioned. I'm so pumped for Milky Way season this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Same. It's gonna be nice getting kind of getting the gears going again. Really wanting to get actually some like really nice photos of the Milky Way this year, and I want to start experimenting with panoramic shots. Something
Mhm.
I've only dabbled in a handful of times. And for those of you guys that are listening and watching, it's basically shooting like a really wide view of the Milky Way. So normally your camera would just you would see like this much, right? Let's just say hypothetically, if I were to shoot a photo, you would see like this much, like maybe a foot. With a panoramic, you can actually you would have to shoot like a sequence of shots, and then you stitch them all together, so you would get one really long photo, or even like tall photo. Or if you are insane, you can do both, like this way and this way. So yeah, that's something I really want to experiment with. I'm excited as well, space.
Ooh, yeah. Blue Eyed confirming here for me that the Parker Solar Probe is indeed at a highly elliptical heliocentric orbit, meaning sun at the center.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like it swings very close, then it swings very wide, far away, then comes back.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Do you know how close it gets by any chance?
I don't.
Help! Help, Blue Eyed.
Let's do some goog.
Google. Have you done stargazing on Big Island before? I've never even been to Hawaii. That's on my bucket list.
Ooh.
Kayla, I would love to go.
3.8 million miles. That's really close, considering the distance from the Earth to the sun is about 93 million miles. Excuse me. That's most of the way there.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
The sun is hot. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Did see. Oh, also the Fram 2 mission returned safely. We've been talking about that in recent episodes. So if you guys were paying attention to the news on the Fram 2 mission, was the first ever astronaut mission to fly at a 90-degree inclination around planet Earth. So basically it went over the poles, north and south poles, instead of kind of going around horizontally, it was going vertically. And they got some amazing footage and imagery of the polar regions, the Antarctic and the Arctic. And they also did things like they performed the first human X-ray from space, which was very exciting.
Yeah.
So I was really glad to hear that they landed successfully. I believe they landed in the Pacific. Is that right? I have to look. But yeah, I mean these commercial flights, you know, like Inspiration 4, Axiom, and Polaris Dawn, and now Fram 2. SpaceX is doing some insane stuff with their commercial partners, and you know, just kind of proving what's possible versus what hasn't been possible before. So orbital missions, setting records, and kind of just establishing our new normal. And Fram 2 felt like was kind of a silent one, but it happened. And nothing went wrong, which is like the best case scenario.
Yeah.
You know?
Nice.
Mm-hmm. A lot of smart people at SpaceX.
That's pretty dang cool.
Man.
A lot of stuff happening.
Mm-hmm. There's just like space news constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Do you guys in the chat let us know, is there anything that you are planning this year in regards to space? Like you're going to make an attempt. Are you going on a trip? Are you doing a star party? Or maybe is there something you really want to do that you have yet to plan? Let us know in the chat. We would love to share those stories if possible.
It's a good question. It can be something as small as going in your backyard and backyard camping. Visiting the an observatory, going to the Okie Star Party in September.
Yes, that's right. Um, I loved what you said about backyard camping. Like,
Dude, underrated.
get a cheap tent and just put it up in your backyard and enjoy the crickets.
Yeah.
Poke your head out a little bit, start a campfire, take it easy. You don't even have to drive anywhere.
It's the best. You don't even have to camp. You could just like get some blankets, lay out in the grass, and just look up. It's really nice to be able to do something like that from the comfort of your own home. Obviously, there's limitations as far as like the amount of stars you can see, unless you live somewhere remote.
Mhm.
But even like suburban stargazing, I still think it's most people don't even stargaze at all. So whenever you just work with what you have, it's still going to be a lot better than not doing it.
Dude, why does putting a blanket out in your backyard and looking up feel like it's so against the rules? What is it that we've like conditioned ourselves to feel that just to me, instantly I'm like, no, I can't do that. Like, why is that my default? you know?
I think there's just like almost like hidden rule that whenever the streetlights go out or whenever 9 o'clock comes around or whatever that is, you're supposed to be inside, like sleeping, or you're supposed to just be inside. Because I don't know, that's just what it feels like. You're supposed to be inside. There's no reason for you to be outside. But I say break the rules. Do it responsibly. Don't trespass, but find somewhere nice, find a hidden gem, or just do it in your backyard. And yeah, throw that blanket out there and look up.
Is it do you think it's because it's one of two reasons? One, it's either primal and survival based, where our bodies naturally as humans remember, 10, 15,000 years ago, if you're outside of your cave, you're going to get eaten. Or those of us who grew up at certain times in history where it's like our parents told us, come home before sundown or,
Curfew.
You're going to get in trouble. You're going to get the whip. So we just have a little bit of PTSD around it, maybe.
Yeah, no, I think it's a combination of both. I think it is a primal thing. Usually when it's dark, things just feel scarier. You can see less. Things in the night, creep out. So yeah, but I would say, once you actually do it a lot more, you start to see the night through a different lens. It doesn't feel scary anymore. In fact, I would say it's a lot more peaceful and yeah, it's something beautiful that everyone should experience.
Gonna make it a point. Gonna get a new blanket, my outside blanket.
Dude, I used to bring a queen size air mattress when I would go stargazing. Yeah, dude. It was one of those inflatable ones, and you would just plug it in, and it was freaking awesome.
What's the equivalent of glamping, but for like bougie astronomy?
I would just say just that.
Bougie.
Yeah. Just or actually going to one of those they have these like remote experiences where there's like these dome buildings or dome houses or whatever that you can kind of like stargaze and still have the some of your amenities like showers and stuff and bathrooms.
Right. Yeah, I've seen those. Those look awesome.
Resorts, that's what it was. They're like dark sky resorts.
Okay. But there's got to be a clever name. Chat, come up with a clever name. What is the equivalent of glamping, like glamour camping, but for astronomy? Glastronomy? Is that weird? I'm going to feature a couple of these comments here. So we did have a bunch of people answer our question here. So here's what people are going to be doing this year or hoping to do. Will says, I'm gearing up for Texas Star Party right now.
Ooh, TSP.
Caitlin said, never photographed the Milky Way, and I would like to do that.
Ooh, Caitlin, yes, please.
Blue Eyed says, I want to see a rocket launch at Cape Canaveral.
Same.
So, just along the same Path here, Tiffy said, would love to go see a space launch this year. Mod James, Okitex, and also some stargazing at Glacier National Park. Excellent, excellent.
Ooh, nice. Okitex, I'll see you there, man.
Tanzanite, visiting Houston, Texas on the 17th through 20th, and we are getting tickets for the Space Museum. Sweet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Please report what you learn back to the Galactic Window fam, because I want to know how it is. I've never been there.
Loving the answers.
Hillbilly says, I'm planning on Okitex, but worst case, I will be with my astronomy club at the observatory.
Nice.
And your worst case sounds like a great case.
Yeah. You should really try to push for Okitex, though, man.
Will also said, I camp in my backyard all the time when the wife kicks me out. Oh, geez.
Nice. Starlux.
Ooh. Ariel says, camping trip in the middle of nowhere during a meteor shower.
Yes, Ariel, I love it.
You won Tan's heart.
Yeah, I want to go. Sounds amazing.
Princess Tamara, visiting the highest point in Slovenia to stargaze.
That sounds amazing, too.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Dang. So much stargazing. I love it.
Space is beautiful. I need to go to a star party this year. Star parties.
Just buy your
Can't go
ticket.
wrong.
Just do it, or else you won't.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes for anyone who have plans this year. Just buy your ticket and then figure it out later. Because if you're anything like me, you'll just make up there will be tons of excuses that will come up, and naturally things will come up too. But for me, whenever I have already purchased a ticket, it seems like I just find ways to make it work. It's like, oh, I have to go now.
Tiffy in the chat says they have a huge model of the ISS there at Johnson Space Center. I just have one question. Can it fit in a carry-on? Because I might be stealing it. This is a heist.
Dude, let's do it.
Can we drop in from the ceiling? Can we crawl through the vents? Tan, can you put me in a rope and hoist me down?
Dude.
And I'll just, grab it and then pull it back up, and then we'll escape.
Yeah, let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Tan knows I have success in heists. You watched my first movies.
We might have to show that at some point.
Dear God, no.
Yeah.
But also, yes.
Nick has secretly helped direct this beautiful, well-written heist movie called Puddles 9.
Right?
Puddles 9.
Oh, geez. Way back when. It was the start of my video career.
It's great.
It's my origin story.
Puddles 9.
Yeah.
Y'all get it?
Because it's like Ocean's 11. Yeah. But on a much smaller scale. Let's just say we made a splash. Haha.
It was good. It was good.
When Nick wins the lottery, there will be signs that he will buy the ISS. Yes. I will pay to deorbit it safely and bring it home.
Astro Elite Stargazing. Yeah, Tiffy, are you writing these down? This could be part of your thing. I like it. Astro Elite Stargazing.
Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Guys, I love the plans that you guys have. Because, what you plan to do, whoever listens to this might be inspired to hear, oh man, there are a lot of people going to do this. This is pretty neat. Maybe I have a chance too.
Now you just got to execute.
Right?
Starcations. Playful term for vacations built around stargazing. I really like starcations. Celestial retreat.
Star snuggle.
Dude, we just got to do something like Star Snuggle.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Everyone just pairs up with another person.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're getting cozy up in here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I think the galactic
Is it
window should have a.
instead of instead of spooning, it would be called dipping because it's like Little Dipper and Big Dipper.
Ah,
I'll be the Little
dude, I
Dipper if
love
you
it.
be my Big Dipper.
Love it. I think we're onto something here, y'all.
Yep. This is how we're gonna how we're gonna start our star party. We're gonna advertise it as a star snuggle.
The cover is just gonna be you and I spooning with the Milky Way in the background.
Oh no. With like big goofy grins.
Dude, we gotta sell it, man.
Yeah,
We gotta
right.
sell it. I'm all in. It would be cool though. Hear me out. We would have Taco Bell and Spam. We would have like like on site. There'd be a couple chefs that would be making you guys like awesome food. At night, we would do tours of the night sky.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to buy, I don't know, like 100 acres. Actually, I don't know how big. I don't know how much that is, but enough for everyone to be able to hang out and spoon.
just these comments are killing me. Just hug each other, Nick and Tan.
This is how Tan got what?
This is how Tan got pregnant.
Oh,
Oh
man.
no. Oh jeez.
Abort!
I just thought glamping plus gazing equals glazing.
Glazing, yes.
Yes.
We love glazing.
And that's probably the winner for me so far.
Tan is just describing his ideal date night. The Galactic Window Star Retreat. I like it. I like it a
Ooh,
lot.
I do like that too.
Yeah.
I do like that.
We might have to. Yeah, we might just have to do it.
Yes. Please bring your own food to
Oh.
prevent norovirus.
Yes.
That nightmarish story that we shared, that you guys shared from
Yeah.
Okitex.
Long story short,
Oh,
got the norovirus at a star party, and it was the first time I ever got the stomach bug, and I've never thrown up like that in my entire life.
ugh.
Just nonstop. Like it just kept. I had no idea where it was coming from.
Was it like that scene in Team America where the puppets just like puking?
Dude,
Just, it's
it
like
was.
just got like a jet of fluid. Just
Yeah, and I was trying so hard to like not throw up because I was within like 20 feet. Like I know everyone heard me. Just bah! So bad. Fortunately, it was at night, so like they can really make out who I was. But
I hope you weren't
Still
making out with people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My gosh, my face hurts so bad right now.
both ends. Oh my god.
No,
No.
no.
It was just vomit. River in the. Oh my god.
Why? Everybody, we're going so far off the rails.
The Galactic Window Space podcast, everyone.
The Galactic Spoon Fest. Oh man.
Hey, all jokes aside, I like the idea.
Mhm.
It'd be cool. Would you guys sign up? Let's just all jokes aside.
Mm.
Let's just hypothetically say that Nick and I one day we somehow figure out the logistics and we set up a huge star party, star glazing event. You just come out for 2 to 3 nights. There's food, there's a place to sleep, and then you stargaze. Is that something you guys would be interested in? Like all jokes aside,
Mhm.
no vomiting. Just a good night under the stars.
Yeah.
Snuggles involved, absolutely. If it was close enough.
You'll go to a party, but not a glazing.
You just have to miss out then.
If we meet in the middle, yeah. Well, so in the middle of the Atlantic, we'll meet over the Titanic in the North Atlantic. That seems fair.
Taylor's in. I'm down for galactic glazing. Yeah.
Astronomy Club. Yeah. I mean, Tan and I have thrown that idea around quite some time about hosting a star party of our own, and Tan's been to them. We've had so many guests who've been to them, and we've had guests who's hosted them. You know, like Ian Lauer, he's hosted like a ton of them. It's got a couple coming up this year. One of the things I loved about Ian's were that he has a theme to them. You know, there's different demographics they want to cater to. Like they had the sort of like wine and painting one for women.
That's cool.
And then they had one that was like a whiskey and astronomy one for men. I can't remember what the other ones were, but yeah, we probably could come up with our own spin and create something
Food.
really fun and food. Yeah.
No, seriously, it would have to be some kind of like food with stargazing.
I think you're right.
Maybe maybe not even fine dining, but like gourmet food under the stars. Because I'd imagine most people who are eating at night are just munching on like a corn dog or some chips or something. But imagine having like, I don't know, freaking steak and lobster,
No, dude.
caviar, or maybe not. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
getting too ahead. But there's got to be food in it.
Johnny, I'll take moon rocks in my bourbon. Yes.
Hey,
There you go. I love
I
that.
like it.
Dude, okay, let's partner with Gordon Ramsay and make some brand new hex-clad pans, but they're shaped
Ooh.
like Big Dipper and Little Dipper. Those will be the party favors.
Yeah,
They're like
everyone gets one.
the angled handle,
Yeah,
real
like it.
boxy looking pot.
I love it. Everyone gets one in their little gift bag.
Mm-hmm. See, we can do this, or we'll forge it ourselves. We'll just start a crafting, you know, in like a shed somewhere, and we'll just start welding and
Mhm.
smelting. Oh my gosh. Well, I think we're onto something though. It seems like there's quite a bit of support here in the chat.
Okay. We'll have to whip up something.
UFO pancakes.
That
That's
sounds
that reminds me of Rick and Morty when Beth tells Rick that she's gonna make him like it's her dad, you know, making flying saucer shaped pancakes. He's like, "Oh, I get it, because they're already shaped like flying saucers."
UFO pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
Astronaut desserts. A potluck star party. Yeah, a lot of good feedback here. Yeah, I like it.
Snacks and stargazing with Nikki Snacks.
Mm.
Dude.
Chocolate fountain where I'm not going.
Dude, speaking of ideas, like this is a big one that you and I've had like kind of on the back burner, but we've discussed it. It was a star party. We've also discussed the possibility of what would it look like if Tan and I host sort of like a online masterclass, so to speak, like a where we would offer sort of a digital course that you could like subscribe to, where you would get either intro levels or sort of like intermediate or advanced levels on certain astronomical topics, like maybe just basic telescope use or basic night sky navigation, like what to do, how to view the night sky with no tools, that sort of thing. Maybe image editing or processing, and maybe all of the above. Maybe we could create like just one massive blob of available media. Is that something you guys would be interested in too? Sort of like a masterclass formula, or something like if Tan and I offered like a mentorship, where you could pay for like an hour or something like at a time with me and Tan. We could do like a video call, and we could kind of guide you and like try to like get you into your astronomy or astrophotography a little more deeply. Like, is that something you guys would be interested in too? Because Tan and I have thrown that idea around quite a bit. Let us know in the chat. What do you think?
Yeah.
Or if you're listening, sorry, if you're listening to this after the fact, like write a comment on the YouTube episode and let us know. We'll see that comment if you're interested.
Yeah, we could just be your therapist too. If you just need someone to talk to.
Right? Dude, yeah.
But yeah, well, there's we just want to provide an easy way for you guys to access like a very specific kind of knowledge, whether that's shooting Milky Way and you're like, okay, I don't even know where to start, what kind of camera, tripod, or anything like that. And we're also open to hearing if there's something that we haven't addressed. Let us know if there's something like, hey, I wish you guys would offer something like this. Um, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of comments here. Let's see what we got. You would, but in a normal time, of course. Yeah, we'd coordinate with you. Don't worry.
no, we're gonna make Tamara wake up at 4 o'clock a.m.
We only
for
make our
her.
mentorships available at 9 p.m. on Mondays
Yes,
when we're doing the podcast. That's why I'll be like looking over here. I'm broke, but yes, yeah, sweet. Hey, that's
nice.
good.
Yeah,
You definitely do that. Nice.
you're gonna have a
That's very cool.
designated deep sky astrophotography rig. Nice.
Sweet
Congrats.
deal.
That's huge.
You think it'd work more in the comments move on me when I try to click them. I think they would work more in person with hands-on with their equipment. Can be a side plan to the star retreat. That is a
Okay.
good point.
Yeah. Very cool.
That's sweet.
My wife has been on me for years to do a course. I probably will someday. Those can be very beneficial for new peeps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard for us to think of things that people might want to know just because we're so like used to it, like everything we do, um, it's like second nature to us. And I lost count of how many times I would go over or explain something to someone and they're like, "Oh my god, I didn't know that was a thing." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, of course it is." But I'm thinking like, "Well, how can I say that?" Like they might not know, just because I do doesn't mean that you guys will. So, just trying to think of things to kind of get the gear rolling for new astronomers. Um I think a lot of times there's people who are interested in astronomy, but just aren't making that initial leap for whatever it is, time, money, or maybe just they're intimidated. So whatever we can do to finally pull you guys and kind of like nudge you on your way to taking photos or just planning a night out under the stars. We want to help we want to help you guys do that.
Mm-hmm. I was recently digging through some old hard drives of mine. I
Hmm.
powered them on and like backups, and I was discovering stuff from my early days of my astrophotography. This is 2013, 2014 when I was like really just getting started. I was putting my iPhone 4S on my telescope and spraying and praying, and pointing my Canon 7D DSLR up at the stars and having no clue what settings to put up. I was finding those pictures, and I was so alone in that. I had no clue what to do. I was guessing, and I think at the time I would have really loved to have had somebody, just one person that I could have had guiding me through that. Even just to say, hey, try this,
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of years just constantly messing up opportunities and not knowing what the next step was. Even if I had figured out the first steps myself, it's like, well, where do I go from here? And I feel like a lot of that could have been expedited if I'd been connected with the right people. So yeah, I think there is an opportunity for folks who are just kicking things off. We're like, show me, I figured out step 1, but what's step 2 and 3?
Hmm.
Let's chart that out, because sometimes those resources are hard to find.
Yeah. Or you guys just want to learn from us. I'd imagine there's probably a good chunk of things you can look up online. YouTube is a great resource for, I would say, 99% of anything that you guys are wanting to find. But not as cool as Nick and Tan.
Yeah, well, the cool thing about the internet is you start to get to know these people that otherwise you wouldn't have met. So like for those of you watching, like
Mhm.
I don't know many of you personally. There's a handful, but like if I'm being generous, but most of you I've never met, and there's a likelihood that I won't ever meet you, maybe not anytime soon. But you also have a familiarity with certain people that you know from the internet, like Tan and me. Like, so if you have the choice to like find some random YouTube video, which could be helpful, or to do it with someone you know, I'm sure that connection point does make a difference, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think Big Bend might be a good one. They have cabins too, or more financially feasible would be camping out of state, park, dark sky, more central to the middle. Who's going? Yeah, for a star party. Yeah, I think if we ever to consider doing like a star party, location is obviously going to be something really important. We want to make something that's feasible for the majority of us.
Mm-hmm. Will says he knows a guy with land.
Mm.
You're not supposed to meet strangers from the internet. Oh man, sorry, Tan. I can't be friends with anymore.
Dang it.
My mom said so.
This would be the only time you get to meet really, really cool strangers.
Mm-hmm.
We're all AI.
We're all AI. Yeah. Yes, I knew it. I knew it was Chat GP Tan.
GP Tan?
Chat GP Tan. It just gives you tan responses.
Everything has on it.
Yeah, right. It's like, hey, Chat GP Tan, suggest to me, give me dinner suggestions. Have you tried spam?
Spam. Spam and
tacos. Shout out to Wildfire 776 joining us on Twitch.
Jen, what up?
Hey.
How is it over there? Tell us, what is it like being over on Twitch?
Twitchland.
Man.
Well, thank you guys for the feedback and the brainstorming here. Sometimes ideas take off when you have a little bit of momentum. It's like when you're lighting a fire in the wilderness and you just like using a little flint and steel and you get a spark. Like you need to have that tinder, that like dry grass and like little tiny twigs to just get that fire started. I feel like that's where we're at with some of these ideas. It's been a long time coming, but there's no rush in life to get stuff done. But here we are. I think we can potentially try some new things and do some cool stuff together with you guys.
Yeah, feedback is seriously invaluable, and we just love hearing from you guys. It's really nice just to see what the average person feels when it comes to certain things in regards to astronomy, whether that's doing a star party or doing an online masterclass or whatever it may be. So,
right.
Shout out to you guys. Did someone say Tinder? I read that too. Both of us just gravitated towards that comment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the most literal sense.
Cosmic connections. Something else that we're gonna start.
Yeah, Tan and I are just gonna be internet matchmakers. That's what we do.
We should have our own show, our own matchmaking show.
Yeah,
we get to decide. I don't know. I've never really watched like The Bachelor and all the other ones, but I'd imagine we can do it. How hard can it be?
The Astro Bachelor. Like, Tan, you'll just be there like you were on our first in-person episode. You just had your shirt unbuttoned. Just
sign me up. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh. Well, you guys, it's been a hoot. I think we're gonna wrap this one up. It's 80 minutes deep. Time to bring it home and prepare ourselves for the awesomeness that's coming up next week on episode 46.
Maybe we can just briefly touch on it again. Tell him, Nick.
I'll throw up the graphic one more time. So you guys, just a reminder, and for those of you who joined in late, next week we are having Herb Baker, the author of From Apollo to Artemis, Stories from My 50 Years with NASA. He's going to be on the show with us. Tan and I are going to be talking with him the whole time, and it's going to be great. And we're going to actually have the chance to potentially invite some of you guys into the show. We can show you on camera if you'd like, or we could have you be a voice, whatever. But you can possibly ask Herb your question face to face with him. The only requirement is that you have to be a member on the channel. It's kind of one of those exclusive privileges we have. So if you're not a member, maybe consider doing that. Otherwise, you can submit your questions for him in the chat, and we'll do our best to get to as many of them as possible. But you guys don't miss this one. Herb is a legend in the space industry, and he, like he said, he worked 50 years in and around NASA from the Apollo era all the way to Artemis in the 20 teens. So
cool.
Wealth of knowledge, huge connection point with astronauts and administrative people throughout NASA. It's going to be a great one. And he's just a cool dude. He's just a really nice guy. So what's not to like?
I'm excited, man. Mm-hmm. I'm excited.
So next week, April 14th, 9 p.m. Central Time, our normal broadcast time slot. Don't miss it. Be here.
Everyone, all 27 of you guys watching right now need to be there. Please.
And another special, huge announcement coming in the same episode, ?
Yes, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Come to find out.
The answer is yes. So if you're not coming for Herb, come for the announcement. If you're not coming for the announcement, come for Herb. And we'll have a blast talking about space.
Sweet.
Yeah. Cool. All right, you guys, have a wonderful week. Go do something spacey. Pick up a copy of Herb's book, From Apollo to Artemis. Maybe give it a read before the episode next week. You can get it on digital as well. So if you don't have the ability to wait or don't have like Prime or something,
I bought it on Kindle for like $1.
Really, dude?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but I'm pretty sure it was only like $1.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I had some points or something. I don't know. I've never used it.
Well, yeah, that's perfect. So there's easy ways to grab this book. It's a very fun, palatable read, and I would argue that it gives you a very nice, detailed yet not complicated history of NASA's space programs. So if that's new to you, and you don't know much about NASA space history, this is a really great way to do it with a personal twist.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and remember, we're gonna be giving a copy away of the book too. So all the more reason to show up because you might be the winner.
Be there, be square, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Totally. All right, you guys. One more week until episode 46. And until then, we will see you all on the other side.